Hobie Flobie Show.
Wow.
Hobie Flobie Show.
Disorganized.
Okay, we just started the official Hobie Flobie Show. And I have magnificently sat on top of the
notes.
The prepared notes, like to make a statement. So yeah, we are the Hobie Flobie Show, which we just made up, which...
About 5 minutes.
I bet you're all jealous of our super cool name that we have now. But we got some fun topics that we want to talk about today. I am Nathan, also known as Batman.
I'm Justin, and I am Iron Man.
And here's Johnny.
No, you're supposed
That's
to.
not your name.
You're not. No, just say.
No.
Just say
Luke.
your name.
Name's Luke. That's the
Okay.
name.
No, you got to say your name, and then you got to
Oh.
say the. It's good.
Johnny
I'm
Luke.
Nathan. I'm Batman.
Johnny Luke. Here's Johnny Luke. Here's Luke. John Luke.
John Luke. Okay, we got John Luke over here.
We'll take it. So whatever.
Yeah. We're doing
Why not?
good. All right. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Naruto and weird animes and the effects on society that it has at our core. So, Justin, I believe you have control of the subject matter that we're gonna be talking about.
Well, looks that way. So, as many of you know, Naruto Shippuden has finally ended. Now, I don't really know if I'm the only person who has really been waiting for it to end, considering it seemed like the last 170 episodes have been mostly filler, but I digress. Let's assume for a moment that, hey, it used to be good. I enjoyed Naruto. A lot of folks enjoyed Naruto. It was very mainstream, and a lot of kids grew up with it. So I think it's really, that's why it's so popular. It explains the popularity. There's a diverse cast. A lot of people can get behind it. I do not like what it's become, though. When you've extended a series, I felt like it was Lord of the Rings or Return of the King. It had 70 endings. I feel like you could have shortened it down a little bit. And it brings me to my point that where has all the good anime really gone? You think about the classics like Berserk, there wasn't any filler in it. It was great, It was gory, it was straight to the point. It was like 25 episodes long. It doesn't need to be very long. You think of Death Note, no filler, why do you need it? You stretch it out, one reason. Why? That's money. Alright, so even all that aside, let's talk about how that impacts society. Show me a happy Naruto fan.
They're out in the street right now partying. They're like, "Yay, it's over! Yeah!" No, they're crying. They've definitely got to be crying in their rooms right now. They're like, I invested everything I had in it, and I ran out. You're like, oh yeah, I'm sorry guys, but you just totally dropped the ball when you ended up getting rid of that money.
You'd be surprised at the amount of happy Naruto fans out there.
But not when it ended.
Well,
oh no,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
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 So, it's like, here's a 720 episode long prescription for depression. Congratulations. So.
Well, everything's going to end at some point.
Well, everything ends, but you can at
this
least
just
end it
needs
better.
to end exactly after I die. Like, it should just be like my whole life, and then finally at the very, very end, like right before the final episode, I just
like the Truman Show,
and
or
then
something like that.
then the credits roll, and it's just the end. Like that'd be perfect.
It's like one of those things that you're so preoccupied about the fact that you didn't stop and ask if you should. I feel like Naruto Shippuden as a series could have been 300 episodes, and it would have been fantastic. Probably one of the best animes that has ever been written, but no, what do? Let's stretch that by 150 because filler and money. But no, anyway. So that brings me to what I was saying. Let's bring this guy back in here. But some of the most off-the-wall animes that I have really enjoyed, Bobobo, I think ranks at the top of that list. Now, have you guys seen that?
Okay, so
Yes.
He's not stuttering, but there's actually an anime out there called Bobobo, and it's pretty fantastic.
Okay.
Fist in the nose hair.
It's fantastic. Okay, so the premise behind it is that there's an evil group of people that go around and are shaving the world bald. And there's a rebel who is a buff, burly white guy with an afro that fights with sophisticated martial arts involving facial hair, nose hair, afros, that kind of thing.
A hero for hipsters.
It's true, yeah.
Grow it out, no shave November.
He would be a modern day messiah. So,
Oh God!
You can see the merchandise right now. Just like he's just like standing at the top with like a Napoleon outfit on. He's just like, grow your beard and your hair and save the world.
like he would be a hero to lumberjacks everywhere. It would be amazing. It would be fantastic. You know, but the point is, like, that was creative. It was funny. It was fun for the whole family. You know, like, you know, maybe your messed up cousin that you keep locked in the basement. But the point is, everybody enjoyed it, right? So, you know, you even have things like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's not like the most iconic story-wise, but it is fun to watch. You know, there isn't a lot of drawbacks. There's not a lot of, man, I wish this would be over. Or let me skip this episode, come back in a couple weeks. No, it's still filler, you know. None of that. You know, even Dragon Ball Z. They had filler, dude, but you know what? It served a point. You know, it wasn't 30, 40 episodes long.
Yeah. Like the whole Saiyan Man high school kind of a series thing. I actually found that a little bit
I enjoyed that.
Relieving. It was an interesting, because it was more of like a slice of life kind of a take.
It was.
That the show didn't typically go through.
Oh, dude.
So it was really nice.
Well, and like the reason that I enjoyed it is I love the Ginyu Force, and there was like a lot of that weird posing stuff and like a lot of the same attitude. They carried over the spirit of it, really. But you know, there's just so many.
If it's done right, you know, you end up with something that's nice. You know, like if you're like watching like blood curdling violence and like extreme, and then like they cut to like a cuddly kitten, you're like, okay, I needed that. Now let's get back to the violence. But
I needed.
Well, no,
they needed a break.
They did do that. What was it? Was it Boku no Pico? Is that the one where like they kill the dog, or is it Elfen Light? It's one of those new violent animes. But basically, they kill. You know, it cuts to a cuddly dog. This insane serial killer finds a dog in the middle of the road. They're like, I'm going to adopt this dog. Then she makes friends, and the friends are like, screw that dog. So they kill the dog, and then she kills them.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, right? Isn't that, you know, that's
We're
like, you
sponsored by PETA, by the way.
We are, you know, people for the ethical.
No animals were murdered during the making of this film, except in cartoon form.
That's true. There's a cat around here somewhere. I'm not sure where she's at, but anyway. So I mean, what, you know, with that in mind, like, what are some of your guys' favorite anime? Like here recently, you know, animes that you feel like have been overshadowed by ones that have really built up speed. Things like Fairy Tail, you know, things like Sword Art Online, you know, things like Naruto Shippuden. Animes that have become mainstream that really shouldn't be, considering that there's better stuff out there. Like I'm going to name an anime that I've fallen in love with. That is made by the guys who did Hellsing. It's called Drifters, and if you haven't seen it, you really should. There's only 12 episodes of it, but they're working on a season 2, and I think it's going to be great.
Okay, what's it about?
Okay, so Drifters.
This is the trailer part of the podcast, by the way. So I'm going to help set the mood here.
Oh,
okay?
set the tone. Yeah.
It was a drizzly Tuesday.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's the Inception bong, and he did not just have a stroke. He was doing the fantastic Inception bong.
I'm gonna make that famous. It's gonna be so bad that you're gonna by the end of the night. Yeah,
bing.
That sounds like somebody just hit a gong.
Walla walla bing bang.
Sounds like somebody hit a gong.
Wah, wah, wah. That's our modern wah 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 right now.
Yes,
you know,
there it is. Yeah. So anyway,
okay, Drizzly Tuesday. Go for it.
Bong.
Bong.
Okay, so I thought there was more.
I'll interject.
You had me on the edge of my seat.
You're like Morgan Freeman right now, and I'm just gonna. I'll add in little things.
Okay, I can dig it. Okay, so it takes place in the middle of feudal Japan. So with that in mind, you know, it basically centers around like a warrior who is top notch. It serves in a shogunate, and he dies and gets transported to another world. And he winds, you know, in that other world, you know, he's not the only one. They're referred to as drifters or visitors from another timeline or alternate dimension.
So just kind of like bums.
Like interdimensional dead bums.
Okay.
Yeah, that are brought back to life, you know, but
homeless people running rampant.
That's right. Explain an anime plot badly.
Homeless people running rampant.
Hey, they lived in a castle. It's okay. So
in castles.
Homeless people running rampant.
They were vacant
in space.
Oh no. Okay, there's no space, not yet. I mean, that could be in season 2. Who knows?
In not space.
But you know, it has the violent maiming and the action that what you'd expect from like a Hellsing series. In a easy to follow like narrative. The first episode, there's probably 50 maimings, like limbs being cut off, decapitations. It is an incredibly action-packed anime, and it's 12 episodes long.
I have nothing left. Like that's basically it.
Yeah, like you're basically a torso. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of biting in this trailer. Just an epic nub fight.
Is that like the
I'm going to
portion?
come over there and just give you a noogie.
No, like I feel like that's the tongue inside Alien. You know, like when Alien opens its mouth and the other. You know, I feel like that's
like
that's
the
a
two
little
aliens.
mouse tongue.
It's like the tongues.
Yeah, it's like. You know, like that's what I feel like it sounds like.
I think we have a trailer that we can pitch to him right now.
You never know.
You know, just a drizzly Tuesday with space bums that aren't in space and mouse tongues.
Yes, we'll take it. All right, well, go ahead, Nate. What's yours?
What are we? We're talking about weird animes.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
like
we're doing
favorite
anime nobody else has seen.
Like favorite recent
anime
animes that you feel have been like overshadowed.
Oh my gosh!
I have one, but it's not recent.
Like I should be.
But it's like,
is it within the last like 5 years?
I don't know. I think it was 2006, so that's not definitely not last 5 years.
Well, I mean, you really like.
Well, here's another one. Here's one that is in the last 5 years. Have you guys seen Parasite?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you have seen Parasite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Parasite was delightful.
Okay.
And horrible.
Because like, yes. So because like,
watch this show. Feel horrible.
For like, I'd say for about 6 months, it was like everybody was like going on about it, and then it just kind of fell off the radar. I don't even see like I've never seen. I think Shiro is the main character. Shinji.
Yeah, that's right.
Shiro. That's Evangelion. Anyways,
we'll get to that later.
The weird thing about it was, it's like the whole time I was just like, you know, it was the hand that had the mouth, right?
Miki.
Yeah. And so, like, the whole concept was just like somebody with a hand puppet to me, just like talking to him, just like, hey, I'm hungry. I'm like, oh no, I have to feed my hand puppet, and you're looking for puppet food the whole time. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, totally fine. But like, I'm being in the cosplay realm and things like that. I've never seen like a Shiro cosplay, like, which is surprising. To me.
I haven't seen it on like any of the websites from any of the concerts.
No, which is surprising to me because like it's a simple cosplay. Like all you need is like the school uniform and then like
a hand
like some
prosthetic.
mace, hand prosthetic aside from that. Or I mean, if you want to do something else crazy, whatever.
Just go down to your local missionary store, buy missionary clothing, and bam, instant. Like any Mormon could just pull this off instantly. Just,
totally.
I have a parasite for a hand.
If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. It's basically like I don't know, just weird parasites. I don't know. I like a sort of a Resident Evil style show with more.
I could see that.
More of a mystery involved, I guess you could say. Very violent.
It's
although some people would say like there's a guy, Glass Reflection, on YouTube who like does frequent anime reviews, and like he couldn't finish the series because for him it was just too weird. It's a lot of like it's weird. I wouldn't say it's probably the most violent anime I've seen, but just the way the specific violence is portrayed, it's a bit odd. It's not normal.
I would say it's actually up there though. You know, like I'd say it's up there with like the Hellsing OVA. Mm-hmm. You know, like with Boku no People, Elfen Light. I'd say it's up there with like Cyber. I think it's Cyberdrone or Cyberdome, something like that. You know,
maybe towards the end of like Full Metal Alchemist kind of feel to it, because it's kind of like you have to choose if you're going to do this kind of deal. I want to say like what it's about, but I also feel like I'm kind of giving away spoilers. So I'm like,
I've seen it, but I mean the general public.
Okay.
Yeah, general public probably doesn't want to spoil it.
Okay.
With great power.
Oh no,
our flop pets.
It came out like 5 years ago, so like we got spoilers. You're fine. So yeah, it's about a parasite. The hand.
Oh, we're going back to Parasite. I thought we were talking about.
Oh, sorry. I jumped around.
We just jumped around Full Metal Alchemist.
I apologize.
No worries.
I'm wrong. I'll get back there.
No worries.
What are we talking about? Where am I?
Your favorite underrated recent anime.
I think we're
favorite
getting
underrated recent anime.
Pretty close to.
I see the clock. We got the clock going on.
Pretty close to time.
We're all right.
I actually don't think I've watched anyone's recently.
Really?
Any recent like overshadowed shows?
I could say Ponyo, but that's not.
That's
a movie.
This came out quite a while ago though.
That was a while ago. Was there another weird one from Studio Ghibli that Was it Bar Wars? Did that come out last year?
You know, I haven't kept up with Studio Ghibli at all.
They're gonna think I'm like the weirdest fan of anime right now. They're like, why is he saying the worst ones? He's like, they made them for me. They weren't for you. Oh man, I can't think of any right now. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta pass on that one.
Okay. Sure. Well, then I will.
And accept my shame. So if you hear the sound of a knife, that's me.
He can be. Was it Senpaku? That's what it is.
Yeah, Senpaku. I'm over here.
Yeah.
Just get sharpening a blade because it's a podcast. They can't.
Well, you know, apparently
they can't see that I'm obviously doing this.
Swing. That man got tired of having no parents. You know, dead parents. You know, so. I would say Overlord, I think, is up there for me. I talk about it all the time. Not a lot of people have seen Overlord. It's basically Sword Art Online, but, you know, good. And
all the comments.
Yeah, I can just see it now. Like, people are going to start sending me hate mail. I'm going to get death
this
threats.
is the part right here. By the way, subscribe to us on YouTube. Especially all you mainstream people right now.
No, okay, here's the thing. Like, with Sword Art Online, the first 12 episodes were amazing, and then I just feel like they got lazy. Like, the first 12 episodes were flawless.
Well, he didn't even finish. Like, they were like, you got to go through all the floors. And then, like, he got through pretty close to the last floor.
Like, they were like, we've got 20 more floors to go. And they're like, no, let's
screw it, we're going to fight right now.
Yeah, he found the secret way to get to the top secret. I think they just ran out of a budget.
I think
no, apparently they haven't, because they are on episode 80 now.
Yeah. They ran out of plot armor. So, you know, like the issue with it was, you know, like it's just all the way across the board. Plot holes like, oh hey, here's this daughter that you adopted for your virtual girlfriend that, you know, you somehow fell in love with, knew exactly who she was in real life, even though she's still in a coma, whose dad is gonna let her marry somebody who's basically her brother, but yet that's okay because anime. You know, so
I feel like anime is just the modern world's answer to like soap operas.
I think
they were just
fair.
like evil twin, and you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. But now with giant robots and Gundam, like, that evil twin is so evil now.
I'll accept that.
We've done it.
Throw in a romance story and something to do with politics, and we're golden.
And it doesn't help with the music too.
Oh,
it's always just like, like make a choice, man.
Like, are you serious or you're not? So, Overlord, right? Okay.
Well, actually, I think we're running out of time here, so we're gonna have to.
We are.
We have to run towards the end.
Okay, I know, but I have to. Okay, so Overlord, to recap, is good. Watch it. 12 episodes long. Won't be disappointed. Being renewed for season 2 in 2018. But that does bring us to our end here. You know, I want everybody to enjoy anime that isn't going to leave you high and dry, like 720 episodes to get to the end of a wedding that you never even see, just a big FU screen from the creators of Naruto, because apparently that's what we deserve. So, with that in mind...
Okay, so there's good filler, and then there's bad filler. So, regarding filler itself, so, like, bad filler is, for one, just like we're getting into the middle of the huge plot twist, and then all of a sudden, hey guys, we caught up with the manga, and we're gonna go ahead and just throw in an entire 40 episode filler arc that has to do with kittens and beach parties. Mm-hmm. That's bad filler. Has nothing to do with the series
Don't
whatsoever.
forget the swimsuit montage.
Oh yeah, that's always ridiculous.
Like you got to go find it. Like, hey, is senpai gonna notice me in the swimsuit? You know, like it's
exactly. And then they gotta fight each other.
They're like in the middle of an epic battle, and they're like thousands of people have died in these animes, and no one survived, and they're in the middle of nowhere, and there's a desert, and they're like, but it's spa day, and like everyone's running out, and like, yeah, spa day, I love it, you know.
And like whenever you just throw your characters in another arc at random when you're in the middle of a main arc, and it's just like, yeah, they're here now, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And then you throw us back into the actual arc, and it's like, what happened?
Everybody's gonna have a bad time.
Anyways, good filler is basically either a slice of life, kind of like we mentioned with the whole Saiyaman situation in Dragon Ball Z, where Gohan, you know,
something
goes through high school, basically. Exactly.
This is important. His sword is going to glow because of this story when he was 12. You know, like something that helps.
Exactly. Or like after the main arc ends you give us something in the meantime. Like Dragon Ball, the first series often did like tournaments. The martial art tournament was kind of filler-ish compared to like the main baddies, like with the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, the maybe even dealing with inner demons kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and like I know I'm gonna reference Fairy Tail has like a lot of various like filler arcs themselves with like main battles. But like, there's a couple of arcs that are kind of like, why'd you do that? But they have a lot of character development. Like, the one thing I love about Fairy Tail is character development. And then they'll take a decent amount of, let's say, the baddies or bad guys who have, even though it's a filler enemy or a filler arc, they have a decent amount of character development to the bad dude. We're kind of running out of time here, so I'm just basically going to end it with this: is don't cut us off in the middle of the arc. Finish it first. I don't care if you've caught up with the manga. You can be like, okay, guys, we caught up with the manga. Time out. Stop. I don't care. Just don't throw filler, because I'm like OCD. I have to watch the filler if it's part of the anime, or I can't say I finished it.
It's got 2 minutes of the actual fight. I have to watch the full 2 days.
Exactly. I can't say it.
All right. Well, that has been the Hobie Flobie Show. Which right now, I think was pretty good, guys. High fives.
Gush.
No, we're not actually giving high fives. He just clapped. He clapped 3 times. He's like, high five. Wow. Those guys are really in tune, man. Yeah. All right. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll see you guys later. Well, actually, we won't see any of you. You won't see us later.
We'll see you sometime.
You don't see us later. Bye.
We've got faces for radio.